Amara looked at the paper in her hands. It was a bill from the university finance office. The number at the bottom was huge. It had too many zeros. She had enough money for this semester. But next semester, her bank account was empty. She looked across the green grass of the campus. She saw a group of students laughing and drinking iced coffee. One of them was Marcus. Marcus was a legend. Everyone knew he had won the presidential grant, a full scholarship. He didn't have to pay a single dollar. Amara knew she needed to talk to him. She needed to know his secret. She stood up, her legs feeling heavy. She walked toward him. But then, doubt grabbed her throat. What if he was rude? What if asking about money was impolite? Amara stopped. She was 5 meters away from the answer to her problems, but she was too scared to ask the question. But before we find out if Amara finds her voice. Hello, students and dreamers. Welcome back to the podcast. I am your teacher, and today we are going to university. In this episode, you will learn English by listening to the story of Amara, an international student in the USA, who has to solve a very common problem: how to pay for school. We are going to learn how to approach strangers, how to ask sensitive questions about money, and how to build connections that can change your future. To help you secure your funding, we are going to focus on 3 specific power words that you will hear today: tuition, merit-based, and networking. Put away your wallet and open your notebook. Let's go to campus. Amara was studying biology at a large university in Chicago. She loved the classes. She loved the library. But she hated the cost. In the United States, university is expensive. Very expensive. Amara's parents had saved money for years, but the currency exchange rate had changed. Suddenly, her money was worth less. She sat in the cafeteria, eating a cheap sandwich. She was looking at the university website on her phone. She was searching for financial aid. Let me explain. Financial aid is money given to students to help pay for college. It can come from the government or the school. Amara found a list of scholarships. But the requirements were confusing. Some required an essay. Some required an interview. She didn't know which one was right for her. She needed inside information. She needed a guide. That is when she saw Marcus again. Marcus was a senior student. He was sitting 2 tables away, working on a laptop. He looked friendly. He was wearing a university hoodie. Amara took a deep breath. She remembered what her professor said: in America, you have to speak up to get what you want. She stood up. She walked over to Marcus's table. Excuse me, she said softly. Marcus looked up. He took off his headphones. Yeah. Is this seat taken? Amara asked. No, go ahead, Marcus said, smiling. Amara sat down. This was the first step. She had broken the ice. To break the ice means to start a conversation with someone you don't know well. It relieves the tension. Amara opened her notebook. She pretended to study. But actually, she was thinking of how to start the conversation about scholarships. You can't just say, hello, give me money advice. That is too direct. She decided to start with a compliment. I like your laptop sticker, she said. It was a sticker of a DNA strand. Are you a biology major too? Marcus's eyes lit up. Yeah. I'm specializing in genetics. What about you? General biology, Amara said. I'm Amara. I'm an international student. I'm Marcus. Nice to meet you. They chatted for a few minutes about difficult professors and the cold Chicago weather. The conversation was easy. Marcus was kind. But Amara checked her watch. She only had 10 minutes before her next class. She needed to pivot the conversation. She needed to talk about tuition. Tuition is the money you pay for instruction at a university. It does not include food or housing, it is just the cost of the classes. And in the US, tuition is usually the biggest expense. Amara cleared her throat. Marcus, she began. Actually, I wanted to ask you something. I heard, well, someone told me that you won the president's grant last year. Marcus laughed. News travels fast. Yeah, I did. Congratulations, Amara said. That is amazing. Honestly, I am struggling a bit with my tuition for next semester. I want to apply for scholarships, but I don't know where to start. She looked at him nervously. Was she being annoying? Marcus closed his laptop. He leaned in. He didn't look annoyed. He looked helpful. Listen, Marcus said. I was in the same position 3 years ago. It's tough. What is the secret? Amara asked. Is it just about grades? Do I need perfect scores? Grades help, Marcus said. But most of the big money is merit-based. Amara frowned. She knew the word merit meant good quality, or worth. But she wasn't sure exactly what a merit-based scholarship looked for. Does that mean I need to be a genius? She asked. No, Marcus shook his head. It means they are looking for talent and leadership. It's not just about getting an A on a test. It's about what you do outside the classroom. Do you volunteer? Do you lead a club? Do you have a unique story? Amara thought about her life. She volunteered at the animal shelter on weekends. She spoke 3 languages. I do volunteer, she said. But I didn't think that mattered. It matters more than anything, Marcus said. When you write your essay, don't just list your grades. Tell them a story about how you helped your community. Marcus checked his phone. I have to run to the lab, he said. Amara felt panic. She had one more question. Wait, she said. Is there anyone else I should talk to? The website is so confusing. Marcus stood up and put on his backpack. You know, he said. You are doing the right thing right now. What do you mean? Amara asked. This, Marcus gestured between them. Talking to people. Asking questions. This is called networking. Networking is the action of interacting with others to exchange information and develop professional or social contacts. Amara thought networking meant wearing a suit and drinking champagne. But Marcus was showing her that networking is just chatting with a purpose. Go to the financial aid office, Marcus said. But don't just email them. Go in person. Ask for Mrs. Higgins. Tell her Marcus sent you. She loves helping international students. Amara smiled. Mrs. Higgins. Okay. I will. Good luck, Amara, Marcus said. And hey, write that essay about the animal shelter. It's a winner. He walked away, disappearing into the crowd of students. Amara sat there alone at the table. Her sandwich was finished. Her bank account was still empty. But her mind was full of ideas. She wasn't just a student with a bill anymore. She was a student with a plan. Amara has a name, Mrs. Higgins. That is a valuable lead. Before she goes to the office, let's pause and study the power words that unlock this information. Word number 1, tuition. This is the charge or fee for instruction at a private school, college, or university. Example, My parents are working 2 jobs to pay for my university tuition. Context: this is usually the most stressful word for students in the USA. Word number 2, merit-based. This describes an award or scholarship given based on a student's skill, ability, or academic achievement, rather than their financial need. Example: she received a merit-based scholarship because she is an incredible violin player. Note: the opposite is need-based, which is money given because you are poor. Word number 3, networking. The process of meeting people who might be useful to your business or career. Example: I am going to the conference to do some networking and find a new job. Context: as Marcus said, talking to people who know more than you is the best form of networking. Okay. Amara understands tuition, she knows she needs a merit-based award, and she has started networking. Let's see what happens at the financial aid office. Amara walked into the financial aid building. It was quiet. It smelled like old paper and dust. She walked up to the front desk. "Can I help you?" the receptionist asked. "Yes," Amara said, standing tall. "I am looking for Mrs. Higgins." "Do you have an appointment?" "No," Amara admitted. "But Marcus sent me." The receptionist paused. Then she smiled. "Ah. Marcus. Okay, have a seat. Mrs. Higgins is free in 5 minutes." Amara waited. 5 minutes later, an older woman with kind eyes and silver hair called her name. "Amara. Come on in." Amara sat in the office. She explained her situation. She told Mrs. Higgins about her tuition problem. She told her about her grades. And then, remembering Marcus's advice, she told her about the animal shelter. Mrs. Higgins listened carefully. She typed something on her computer. "You know, Amara," Mrs. Higgins said. "Most students just come in here and ask for money. But you have a specific profile. We have a small scholarship for community leadership that very few people apply for because it requires an extra essay." Amara's heart beat faster. "Really?" "Yes," Mrs. Higgins said. "It is a merit-based grant. It covers 50% of your tuition. The deadline is tomorrow at 5 p.m. "Tomorrow?" Amara gasped. "I can do it. I can write the essay tonight." Mrs. Higgins printed out a form. "Here is the application. Marcus was right to send you to me. Now, go home and write." Amara didn't sleep that night. She drank 3 cups of coffee. She wrote about her home country. She wrote about learning English. She wrote about the dogs at the shelter. She poured her heart into the paper. At 8 a.m. the next morning, she submitted the essay. 2 weeks later, Amara was sitting on the same lawn where the story started. She got an email notification. Subject: Community Leadership Grant Decision. Her hands shook as she opened it. "Dear Amara, we are pleased to inform you." She stopped reading. She didn't need to read the rest. Pleased was a good word. Pleased meant yes. She looked across the lawn. She saw Marcus walking to class. She waved at him wildly. Marcus saw her. He gave her a thumbs up. Amara realized something important. The money didn't come just because she was smart. The money came because she was brave enough to speak to a stranger. Amara learned that the hidden opportunities in life are locked behind other people. To find them, you have to open your mouth and ask. Networking is simply the art of asking for directions on the road to success. The moral of the story is this: you have not because you ask not. Be brave, be polite, and ask for help. Now, I have a question for you about your education. Is university education free in your country, or do you have to pay tuition? If you have to pay, is it expensive? Tell me about your system in the comments below. If you want to invest in your future and speak English like a scholar, please click subscribe and listen to this episode next. We are going to explore job interview questions. How to answer, tell me about yourself. Thank you for listening. Good luck with your tuition, keep networking, and I'll see you in the next story.